long time, 2 years. The first thing I'll ask is if you have a cell phone, if you could turn the volume down off so that it's not ringing through our videos and whatnot through the meeting, that would be helpful. I had no time to put together a formal agenda, so I'm just going to try to remember everything I wanted to say. Well, we got some people coming in, so I'm in there.
Hey, Bill.
Hello.
Come on and take a seat.
Got a couple of seats here. They're a little close, sorry about that. Hello. We're just getting started, so you didn't miss anything.
Perfect.
Oh, we were waiting on you. So.
Oh, yeah. That's very sweet. Where do we sit?
Well, this is kind of close,
That's
as I
okay.
realize. Maybe take one here in the back.
Hi.
Want to grab a chair?
Oh, hi.
Have a chair.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's good. I just
But
grabbed.
you're filming, so I'm gonna sit.
Well, your head is gonna be in there, don't worry.
No, I'm gonna sit there. I don't wanna obstruct your radar. We're at a camera club here, you know? We gotta respect each other's work.
Thank you.
All right, so it's been actually 2 years since we actually had an official HCC meeting. We did have our December holiday party here in this building, and I think we had maybe 15 to 17 people attended. But we've got a lot of new faces here, and since it's been so long, it's been like 2 years, I think I just wanted to go around the room and everybody, if you could just introduce yourself. I mean, even if you just want to give your name, just so I forgot name tags, and there's some new people here. So just let us know who you are, and I think that would be helpful, so that the next 2 hours we kind of know who we're talking to. So I'll start. I'm Dawn Dingy, and I'm the president of the Camera Club, and I'm also the treasurer and former newspaper editor. Laszlo now does that. So Laszlo, I'll pass it over to you. I think everybody knows you.
Oh, I'm the resident Hungarian here, so, and I'm the webmaster for the club, and let's see, do the newsletter, and that's about it.
And you in the back?
Hi, I'm Stephen Sagmiller. I'm new in town, and this is my first meeting.
Okay, welcome. Brian, you want to go next? Real quick?
What am I doing?
Introduce yourself and what you do here.
I'm Brian, I'm holding the light.
He's our equipment operator, I guess, right?
Yeah, I tend to do this.
Just the equipment,
Yeah.
and then,
And help Jeff.
Jeffrey?
I think most everybody knows Jeff Brightman, so he's assisting, so I'll let them get set up there.
I'm Maricel Marus, and I like wildlife photography and also landscape. Yeah,
I'm Pamela Peters, and as an environmental economist, madly in love with Mother Earth, I focus on the beauty of her language. Mary and Joseph.
That's good.
I'm Bert Smits. I take care of the sending out the competitions for PSA and HCC, and I hope that more members are gonna put in images, because it's always the same kind of 8 people, 10 people whose images we send out. So
I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too, so, all right, we'll come across this one. Introduce yourself.
I'm Tom Blyden. I've been a member for about 3 years, but basically a passive member during COVID. And so this is fun, the first actual physical presence of a meeting. And I actually gave a presentation to the group probably 6 years ago. But I'm a retired pro and do nothing but, have done nothing but nature and conservation work.
I'm Sarah Blodgett. I am a wildlife photographer and also a working photographer. And as far as portraits and commercial work go, and I spoke as well for the club sometime in the last year, but it's all a blur. I don't know when it was. And yeah.
No, right here. Heidi.
Oh, me?
Oh, I forgot you. Oh, yeah.
I'm Ann Day, and I'm a professional photographer, and I think Laszlo said I gave a presentation, so I believe him.
Yeah.
It was probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Was a while.
And I'm not really a member, but I just thought it would be fun to come. And get out of the house.
It was a good choice.
I've been locked up for 2 years. Is anyone else?
I'm Nancy Zanini, and I'm not a professional photographer, and I'm trying very hard to get my new Sony to adapt to my experience, my technological experience. Technological? I can
Yeah,
say it.
that's it, yeah, you got it.
Hopefully in this meeting you'll get some help on that, so.
Also,
I'm Heidi Heller. I'm in the same boat as Nancy, not a professional photographer, but trying to learn as much as I can from all of you. So thank you for that. I'm also the vice president.
Yay! Yay!
Bill Lyon. I'm new to the club. I really don't. I have lightweight cameras because I'm an avid hiker everywhere from the Rocky Mountains to up in Canada. But anyway, I live in the same town as Laszlo, and here recently to the club.
Laszlo recruits a lot of our members.
Raphael Swift.
And Debbie Swift?
Basically an amateur. Just read anything.
Yeah, just the same thing, learning and enjoying taking pictures.
I'm Bobby Lyon, I'm Bill's daughter and chauffeur for the evening.
Interesting. All right, well, thank you, everybody. I'm sure that'll be helpful as we spend the next couple of hours together. All right, a couple of things business-wise. We're going to be sending out a survey. Heidi's working on the survey for us. We're going to send it out to all our members. As you can see, we have a very small number of our membership. Our membership's like 32, 35 people, and we have probably a third here. So we're going to send a survey out and ask about having in-person meetings, require vaccination or not require, have masks, not have masks, do you prefer Zoom over the in-person, do you want hybrid? We need to really get everybody's opinion, and as we know, we're not going to make everybody happy, so we're going to do our best. But we've had quite a few email exchanges, the committee and some of our members, and it's been a little challenging because again, we can't make everybody happy. So we're going to do our best. We're going to do the survey. We'll tabulate that information, and we'll make some decisions going forward for, if we're going to do field trips over the summer, or and how we're going to conduct our meetings next year. We all know so many things can change by next year, so you can't predict where COVID's going to be next September, but we're going to do our best to make some decisions, and kind of have to make those decisions by August, because at that time we have to start lining up who our speakers are going to be, and it takes time. So by August we really need to have our schedule at least through December planned out, if not January. I mean, we used to every year, the previous May, we'd start meeting and had the whole next season planned before the season started. We haven't been able to do that because we're kind of short members on our committee. So I'll also mention that if anybody wants to join the committee and help us out, that would be good too. It does take time to reach out, if we're doing the Zoom meetings, to reach out to people and find out what their fee structure is, what kind of presentations they'd be able to do, when are they available. So it's time consuming. So I think we had 4 or 5 speakers this season. The other thing that we need to consider with that is that when we have these speakers, we have to pay a fee. So that's a fee that when we have in-person meetings, we don't incur any fee. But when we have the Zoom meetings, we do incur a fee. So we kind of have to determine what we're going to do next season so that we can determine if our membership fees are going to cover the additional cost. We did have to purchase a Zoom license, which we have to renew every year. That's about $150. Any question? Yes.
Can you give us a sense of how many participate in Zoom meetings versus in person?
Well, it's been 2 years since we've done the in-person, but I would say on average, when we were having them before then, we probably averaged
It's about the same number that
17 or
we have,
18
yeah.
people?
Yeah, about the same number that we have
About
here.
the same on
Yeah,
Zoom?
yeah.
Okay.
Except when it's the Christmas party.
This was about 17 people, I think.
Yeah, we were a bit short, right, this year?
Yeah, I think it was about 17 altogether, 15, maybe 15.
And what do people charge for Zoom, for being an expert on Zoom?
Well, I mean, we had one of our presenters gave us a discount and asked us to make a donation to the Sharon Historical Society, so that was kind of half price. It was $50. We typically are asked to pay $100, and we did have one speaker who wanted $125.
Oh. And one speaker did it for free.
Okay. So, I mean, it varies, but if we're going to do a hybrid, we need to factor in probably 400 to 500 for speakers, plus the Zoom license, which I'm pretty certain we're gonna have to keep that for next year as well, so that's $150.
And then, yes, he's a great recruiter because Laszlo recruited me and Sharon Green.
Oh, it was a mistake.
Too late now, another tornado. So, the world needs it, or maybe not. We have enough movement, set aside. Do you have a budget deficit? Do you have a surplus?
We don't, we're running about $200 behind of where we would normally be this time of year. So it's not a huge deficit. We did things a little different with the Christmas dinner. We did collect $10 per person, so that paid for almost all of the food. So that ended up not costing us very much for the holiday dinner. We did a couple of raffles, and I know it's a small amount, but we take 50% of it when we do a 50-50, so I think we've taken in like $75 from that. So we're not way behind. I know that if we continue to meet in this building, there's a fee for that. We go back to Noble, then we always give them a donation at the end of the year. But I would say we're only about $200 behind of normal. So it's not a huge deficit.
That said, $35 a year, this is a great source of entertainment for that price when you think about it.
Well, knowledge too.
You know, but we'll run the numbers and figure out how much would have to go up by, and we'll disclose that when we do the survey, so people know and can think about and vote on, you know, what they think.
Maybe
I wouldn't imagine it'd be much if we went up. It might be $40, but I don't think
Maybe
we'd
add
go
in
higher.
the survey as a question, if anybody has suggestions to raise extra money, because then you might have amazing ideas.
Yeah.
If
That's a good idea.
No.
It's
Okay.
good.
Well, we're also doing the Sharon Green, which was successful last summer.
It was very successful, yeah.
That's why the $200
We've already
went.
paid last year we paid quite a bit out for that, but it's
Yeah.
because we had to get some signs, and I forget what else we had, but
You
now
know,
we
the
have the signs.
cards and
Yeah, and we have the cards now, we
promo
have the
materials.
signage, so I would suspect that's gonna be much cheaper this year than it was last year. And that was a good way to get some new members into the club
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
$35 to register.
Yeah, which we paid already, so it's a good
Done.
cheap there. So anyway, that's just some of the business stuff I wanted to get out of the way. I did crunch the numbers before I came, so like I said, it's not much of a deficit, but it's part of the decision making when we decide what we're going to do next year. Is we do have to consider the expense as well and factor that in. I brought my checkbook in case I owe anybody money, let me know.
You owe me
Sometimes
$1,000.
forget that. All right, PSA and any triple T. So PSA, we just finished up the last competition of the season for that, so we sent our photos in and we'll wait for the results. I think, and then any triple C, we've already finalized that for this season, we got our results back. I think Bert said for Nature, we came in second place as a club. No, Nature, we came in last place as a club. Victoria, we came in second place. So the way it works on those competitions is that there's different levels. It's like a Class A, Class B for NACCC. For Nature, we did so well in previous years, they bumped us up into the Class A. So now we're going against people that, you know, have much more experienced, I guess, with nature photography, you want to say. So the competition is much higher. And we ended up coming in last. So we need to up our game in the nature.
We just have to get Tom to send
Victoria
us some
will
pictures.
win.
Yeah, that's right. He sends in some pictures, we are all set.
We need to get that up a little, we don't wanna come in last 2 years in a row. For the Victoria, we came in second place, which is good, but we are in the lower level on that. I think, isn't it the top 3 clubs go up to the next level?
Only the first one.
Only the
Otherwise,
first
we
one.
would have gone up to this year, but
Okay.
it's only the first.
So it's
place.
almost like you wanna stay in second, but.
Yeah, it is nice being in
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, considering we were in last for the nature category, does that mean we dropped down to B level now?
No,
No,
we
it's
are
just
in the lowest level.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
But I think one thing that we need to do, is we need to establish kind of what those guidelines are for the nature and make that more clear to people, what they're looking for nature. It's not the same as the pictorial, and they always say the nature story is counted more than technical aspects of the photo. Now, whether that's true or not when they judge, I don't know, but per the rules it is. But, so one of the things I wanted to bring up about the competitions is, every year they look for clubs to volunteer to do the judging. And we did it a couple of, it's probably 4 years ago now, we did the judging. And for PSA, I think it was PSA, wasn't it, Bert, that we did the judging for? Or was it NCCC?
I'm not sure.
I think it was PSA. So they're looking for clubs to do that again. So I might send an email out and see if there's any interest in our club doing it. There is a little work involved because the last time we did it on an off night, not on our regular meeting. We do have to get qualified judges. Now it's up to us what we determine as qualified. So we used 2 of our members and then we got 1 person from the outside. But you get like 150, 170 photos to look at, and you don't have a lot of time. So you do 3 levels. So it's like you show them all, and you have to go through them really quick. They're only up there about maybe less than a minute each picture, 40 seconds. You go through them all and you kind of weed some of them out, and then you go through a second round, and then you go through a third round. And while that's happening, somebody off on the side has to keep track of the scoring and whatnot for each one. And when they send the photos to us, we have to organize them so that they're showing in a particular order when they're being shown. And then after you boot some of them out, you've got to be able to show the next group of photos and have those. So it's a little bit of work, but I think it's a good learning experience on how the judging is done and what are the type of things they're looking at when they're seeing a photo and only have that amount of time. So I think it's a good learning experience. I think I want to try it again, but I have to get some commitment from some members of the club that they'd be willing to put some work in to do it. So we're going to have to make sure that everybody's on board for it before we take that on. But we probably got to make a decision within the next 2 weeks or so. Because they're looking for three clubs to do
And
that.
what's the date? Because people try to.
Well, we can sign up for, they tell me the months, so when I send the email out, I'll indicate.
Be the
what
winter
months
time,
are.
wouldn't it?
It's mostly October,
There's one in February, I think, one in October,
and
and,
April or something.
yeah. I think we did the April one last time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was about 4 years.
So we would only do 1 month.
We do it once, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think people really enjoyed it last time, but it was a lot of work to prepare before you and afterwards. There's all these worksheets you have to fill out to be able to present the results back. And those are the worksheets that they then mail to all of the clubs that participated to say where the club standings were and who gets the ribbons and whatnot. So we don't have to do anything with the ribbons or anything, they take care of that, but we have to present the scores back. So I'll be sending something out on that to see if the club wants to do that. And then any CCC is having their conference, I think it's the 75th? Yeah, 75th Annual Photography Conference. They do this in Massachusetts at Amherst University. And this is the last year they're going to do it. I'm not sure what the reason is, but...
Well, the reason is they cannot find new people who replace the people who get older and wanted to stop with organizing the stuff. That's one of the reasons. So they don't find enough newer people who take over committees and that type of thing. And another thing is that the camera manufacturers always gave money. They always could count on Nikon, Canon. You know, they gave a couple of thousand, or they sponsored the speakers. I mean, they sponsored Art Wolf, or they sponsored, you know, some very, very good speakers, and they are gonna stop. They're doing that.
It is I think it's a 3-day, goes
Yeah.
from Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's in July.
It's in July 15
July 15, 16,
to
17.
17.
I bring this up because we're a member of NECCC, and every year when they have